It's YouTube, baby. I don't know if we're doing YouTube since it's super late, but I'm assuming it's YouTube, baby.
We got to
But
talk about the next round of the playoffs.
yeah, man. So it's the it's Casey's Knicks versus the Pacers, and then OKC versus old T-Wolves. Who you got, man?
Um, I really don't give a fuck either way. I guess Wolves, Pacers with Wolves taking it.
Yeah, part of me's like I think the Wolves in six, but then at the same time I'm like Rudy Gobert is still a big part of their team. And what's Rudy Gobert good at doing? Choking in the playoffs. So I'm gonna say OKC in seven again. And then I still like since like when you look like this is like me being very pessimistic. Like I'm gonna say my heart says Pacers in six against the Knicks, but my mind, like the eye test is saying Knicks in, probably six because you look at the markets of these teams. OKC, small market. T-Wolves, small market. Pacers, small market, and then there's the Knicks. There is no way that the NBA is like, yeah, let's get the Timberwolves and Pacers as the finals. All 15 people in the Midwest are really glued to the TV.
I think enough people would watch anyway, right? At least for the Wolves, they've got bigger names.
I mean, still though, like I just remember when I was a kid, when the Spurs beat the Pistons, they're like everyone was complaining like this was the lowest ratings NBA finals in X amount of years because it's like yeah, it's the Pistons and the Spurs, two small market teams, and it's like yeah, that's like
Well, they're the best teams. What do you do?
I mean, well, you know what the NBA does?
Rig the games.
Hell yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if New York ends up in the finals just because of that. But I still have zero faith in Thibodeau as a coach.
You keep saying that, they keep making it.
Yeah, and how many players has he injured over the years? Like, I'm not going to be surprised if people are like, "Oh, the Pacers are dirty. Thibodeau only played his guys 42 minutes of each game, and they're all injured now." It's like, well, no shit. It's like, and after they got injured, he was probably like, "Okay, now let's go practice our slide drills."
You and the cast, let's go.
Huh?
Said you and the cast, let's
Oh
go.
yeah, right.
So I don't want to dwindle on it too long because
All
it's
right.
late. But let's talk about this fucking WNBA opener.
Okay.
It's just I know they want this whole culture war thing, but couldn't they have picked a better rival for Caitlyn, someone that's actually good at the game of basketball?
Yeah, but I think the big thing with her is she's very media like very easy for the media like to latch onto and talk about and that type of shit. Where a lot of these WNBA girls up until Angel Reese are kind of boring. Even the ones that try to be like oh yeah, like the one that got put in the Russian prison. Like I remember she was talking shit about Boogie Cousins, but like and all anyone can ever say is, dude, her voice is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have
It's
no like
Brittany Griner.
yeah, she's like she has, like really no personality, and a lot of them don't. And it's, because they've just played basketball their whole lives. So it's like this Angel has the personality. So like, well, you can latch on to that because Caitlyn doesn't have much of one.
Yeah, she's terrible. That's her personality. She's a jealous, terrible person.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think you need the rivalry. Why don't you just celebrate that you have the Wilt Chamberlain of the WNBA in front of your eyes and just focus on watching her obliterate every single record that the league has?
Well, I mean, the rivalry is what people are talking about, though. You know how many times, like, I don't even follow any WNBA shit, and you know how many times I've seen crap from that one game already? I'm like, it's getting people to talk about this thing that no one's talked about for a good long while.
Yeah, but the only thing they're saying now is, oh, she's racist. This is racist because of this shit against Angel.
Well, there's some of that, and there's also like Angel can't ever say like I kept seeing the same thing over and over again. Where like Angel can never say she doesn't hate Caitlyn because it's clear as day she just hates her, and it's like that type of stuff. I'm just like whatever. At least I mean this is better than the what they like for the last 8 years when people talk about the WNBA. They go, it's actually really good, guys. Like that's all they would say. But there was like five people in the stands, so at least now people are talking like actually talking about the game and watching and shit.
Yeah, boy, Indiana gave him an ass whooping though.
Oh, they did. It was like I saw the score. I'm like, damn, that's pretty rough. They
I
should kind of feel
saw,
bad.
I don't know if it was either like the WNBA Instagram or maybe the ESPN one after the game that was like, it's like an Angel Reese records her first double-double of the season. Everyone's like, who cares? They
Yeah,
lost by 35 and Caitlyn had a triple.
she had
Why
like
are
in
we talking about her?
one of the things that's crazy is Caitlin Clark had a triple double, and I think it's only her third, and she's like number three or two in all-time
Yeah,
triple double leaders already. It's like,
she's played 50 games.
yeah, it's I'm like that's a sign of the WNBA. Like when they try to say like, oh, they're just as good as the men. It's like if Russell Westbrook was in the WNBA. Like you could put him on the worst team and he would just destroy them. Like it's clear as day that he would do that.
Dude,
Like,
when Brittany Griner said she could 1v1 Boogie. No, you can't.
yeah, that was one of the funniest things. So the NBA guys were trying not to say anything, but then the coach was like, I would take out my mortgage on my house and take all my money out of the bank and put it all on Boogie Cousins.
Yeah. Well, even Boogie was like, look, I respect, the confidence, but you don't want the smoke.
Yeah, so funny.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like it's been one game this season and I'm already kind of just like tired of it.
Yeah,
It's like, boy, I might have to like go into settings and mute certain terms because I don't want to fucking listen to this for
yeah,
the next months and months
I
and
get
months.
it.
Angel Reese fucking sucks at basketball. Yes,
Watching her
she could beat
lowlights,
me, sure. But compared to the other girls, she's fucking terrible. I never skip a low light video
those are so much
ever.
fun. They are so much fun.
And I what's the fucking song that pairs with it every time? It's Rick Ross and somebody. It's the
Oh, I don't
same
know.
song for all of them, but
The ones I watched, it's like this guy yells like, "Oh, bang!"
well, yeah,
doing
there's
that,
that
and
one
that's
too. Um, Give me a second, I'm gonna look it up because there's a good chance that you know what I'm talking
yeah.
about. But
See, like
yeah, I
me
don't
and
know. It's
Angel
like,
Reese.
are we really just gonna focus on these? Like, there's just not a comparison in my
No,
mind.
like I'll be honest. You said that she could beat you at basketball. Like I'm like, me and her have similar games where we're just when we would play, we were bigger and we could get rebounds, and then but we'd also miss our shots a bunch. So it's like I think it'd be a close game where we both have about 82 of our own rebounds.
Right.
Because she's not
Yeah.
gonna body me. Like I already know that. I'm stronger than her.
Right. Like, are they hoping that the years down the road that they're going to just pretend like it wasn't rebounds on her own shots? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like,
it's
but the people, the internet isn't ever gonna let
yeah,
people forget that.
that's the thing. It's like so I mean, I think Moses Malone, he's got a lot of like offensive rebounds and a lot of them were his own. And he's still talked about as one of the best rebounders, but you also don't have a lot of video of, like good video quality video of Moses Malone doing it. So it's like it's not quite the same,
Hmm.
but
Yeah, the song is I'm a Boss by Meek Mill and Rick Ross.
I've probably heard it, but I don't
I'm
know.
sure you have
Yeah.
because the sound sample is like an old 80s or 90s like ESPN music sort of thing.
Okay.
But it just tickles me because it sounds like you remember how on NBA Jam at halftime they'd always do that little jingle and show you the same two clips.
Yeah.
It's very much like that, but then it's just Angel missing every shot she takes. Anyway, all right, let's do our episode.
All right.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Two Worlds podcast. I'm Jake, and with me, as always, is the racist booze to my Angel Reese. It's Casey. What's up, buddy?
Not much, man. What's up with you?
Just chilling.
Yeah. It's a late night
It's a late night,
podcast after hours. Maybe you'll see a nipple if you're watching this on YouTube.
but probably not because then it would get flagged.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Hey.
Maybe you'll see my fucking roof get ripped off because we're in a tornado.
Yeah, and I told Jake if he does get sucked up by a tornado, move the camera up so we can see it.
All right, so we've got one comment on YouTube. It is from Gerbla. He says that for my Fantastic Four, I'm going to go almost all comic book cards. One, Speedball. First time I saw him was on a New Warriors card, and for some reason thought his costumes were awesome, to the point where he was my favorite and I didn't know anything about him. Then when we found a New Warriors comic finally, I had to have it, and I still like Speedball now, even if he was Penance. Two, Doc Samson. So it's a weird thing, but I think it was in the same card line that Casey saw Thunder Strike in that I saw Doc Samson. In that, he had a really weird 90s, like red leather thing with an open chest, big shoulders, bare arms, and fingerless gloves. Add green hair to the mix, and I was like, who is this cool dude here? I can't say I still care about Doc Samson that much, but that sticks in my mind forever. Three is Ravage 2099. Again, pretty sure same card line as Doc Samson. I also had his first comic, and I know he looked a lot different later, but at the time, long red hair, cape that was a jacket, armor made from junk, earring. I can't defend it, but I thought it was really cool. And at number four, we got War Machine. First time I saw him, Shield brought him in to fight the X-Force in a cliffhanger ending. He's been one of my favorite characters ever since. I mean, it's Iron Man with a cooler paint job and more guns. Honorable mentions to Darkness, Deathstroke, and the entire Cyberforce team. Well, thank you, Nick. I agree with you about War Machine. He has always looked way cooler than Iron Man.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that card line did something, just like messed with me and Nick as far as like the things we were into. It's like, yeah, muscle man with long hair and earrings.
Oh, and I see he added one reply that says, "Oh, and the blue and red Supermen."
I
So
don't like I remember him having the blue one, but I don't ever remember reading anything with the red one. Like, didn't that just like the way that happened is like blue happened first and then red somehow happened and then they just combined it again and they're like, well, we got normal Superman again.
maybe
Okay,
I'm really I don't know much about that era.
I gotcha. Fair enough.
Okay. So now we can move on to the news. Um, Pretty much all of mine except for two are comic related. We got a lot of new comic series coming out this summer that'll be fun to talk about. So I'll let you go first.
All right. So this was actually last week, but I kind of forgot to put it in the thing. But the net we got the name and like even like a little teaser for the next Godzilla Kong movie. It's Godzilla X Kong, Supernova. And people are like, I think Space Godzilla's going to be this. And other people are like, oh, it's going to be Gigan. They're probably just going to make their own character again, which I think is fine. It's kind of more fun. And, you know, it's like an alien comes from, like a monster comes from outer space. It's going to be like, something neat. And so, like, with the Scar King and like we had last time, like, he never felt like, because you haven't seen the last Godzilla X Kong, did you? Okay.
Mhm.
So like the main bad guy was a monkey, and it didn't feel like much of anything as far as like a proper big time villain. Like King Ghidorah felt like, oh yeah, the world's gonna end, and then even like Mechagodzilla still felt like something big. This guy was like, yeah, they beat him pretty handedly. Like his whole thing is like he had control over this other monster that shot ice, and then like they won the day, and it was over pretty quick. So this hopefully will be better than that way. Hopefully they make something cool and all that stuff.
Right. I hope so too. Um, okay. So Diamond Select Toys is getting shut down as part of the ad populum purchase. Yesterday, all of their staff was let go.
Dang.
So we'll see what happens with the rest of Diamond going forward, I guess. But still sucks that all those people lost their jobs.
Yeah, it's crazy that I figured Diamond Select Toys was like one of the few profitable parts of Diamond. So I'm kind of surprised by that.
Yeah, me too. I think, Ad Populum probably also distributes toys, maybe. And they're like,
Yeah,
well, let's cut them for money saving, but who
yeah.
knows?
So we got some like very light Wonder Woman news. Someone had asked James Gunn, I think on the Twitter or maybe on one of the Blue Sky or whatever, one of those dang old things, and they were like, "Is there any Wonder Woman news that's like any promising Wonder Woman news that you can talk about?" He's like, "There's nothing I can talk about, but there is a lot of promising stuff going on behind the scenes. So maybe we'll hear something, soonish. So it's probably not. We probably won't hear anything until after the Superman movie comes out." Because, if it bombs, it doesn't really matter what the hell happens, you know?
Any guesses?
They'll probably just be, oh yeah, like we have this person working on a script. That's probably all it is right now.
You think they'll do like a recasting and all that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I figured so too. Boy, I noticed that the internet just like totally switched on Gal. Like they just shit on her now.
Yeah, because of Israel and that type of stuff.
Ah, okay. Guess that makes sense. Okay, so we got the Superman trailer. That's several days old at this point,
Yeah.
but we still gotta talk about it. I personally thought it was a really good trailer. It
No,
got me super hyped for the movie.
yeah, it's like we were texting. It's whoever cut that trailer did a great job because it shows us a lot, but it doesn't tell us a damn thing. And that's what you want from a trailer. Um, I liked it for the most part. My one gripe is I didn't like so the part when he's being interviewed and he switches to the Superman mode while he's talking. I liked that, but then like when she asks him like the lightest hardball question and he gets way too defensive, way too quick on that, I'm like, buddy, you're Superman and you've been Superman for a while. You should be better at this than that. Like that was like my one gripe, but everything else, yeah, looked good.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like that's the first time he's talking to media as Superman, so I give him a
Yeah.
little leeway there. But the voice change to Superman mode was my favorite part of that trailer. I thought that was super well done.
Yep, I agree.
But yeah, very excited. Obviously we both loved Henry as Superman, but they made him or whatever be, super stoic the whole
Yep.
time. And Corin Sweat seems like he's got a little bit more of a personality, which is nice.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I had something I was gonna say, but I don't remember. Oh, Crypto looks fun.
Hmm.
That's a thing too. I'm kind of surprised you even watched the trailer because you're like I just because you've been kind of like I just want to watch the first trailer and then call it good because I wanted
Well,
spoilers. But
the teaser we got wasn't shit. I'm
yeah,
fine watching like the first proper trailer.
I gotcha.
So I probably won't watch anything else
Yeah.
after, but yeah, it was good stuff.
And then speaking of trailers, we got an Ironheart trailer. Did you watch that one?
I did not.
It's kind of the opposite of the Superman one, where it's just like they showed way too much. I felt like I probably have the gist of all of the episodes except for the finale. And it's like, I don't know. They're introducing the Hood in this also. And like I know she was brought into the Wakanda Forever movie, but they're kind of introducing her. It's like it would have helped a lot if like Tony Stark didn't die, because then they could have used that like in the comics, or even been like, hey, Rhodey, come over here. Talk to this girl that's a lot like Tony. I mean, I'm sure he's gonna pop up anyway, but still, it's like they should have like had a face that people would recognize instead of just be like, ah, it's this all new stuff.
Hmm.
'Cause I don't see it like working well that way, but who knows?
Yeah. Uh, I don't know that I care to watch it. There's
Yeah,
other Marvel shows that I haven't seen yet either, so it's just like whatever.
yeah. I
Like
mean, it's
I haven't even got out to see Thunderbolts, and that's one that I've been excited for,
yeah,
so it's
like
whatever.
the show looks like I said, it looks fine, but it's just like I think it's poorly thought out to be like, yeah, Ironheart's going to be able to hold her own show. You know, the character who I don't think has been able to hold their own comic book is going to be able to hold their own TV show. I just don't see it panning out.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, one new Marvel thing and then like four new DC things. The Marvel one is we're getting a book called Marvel All in One or All on One, sorry, instead of two in one. And it's going to be Thing versus the Marvel Universe. Um, oh, and that's written by Ryan North, who I know you're not super crazy about his Fantastic Four, but are you super crazy about the Thing versus the Marvel Universe?
No, I kind of hate like this character versus the Marvel Universe. Like I'll be checking out Godzilla versus the Marvel Universe, but that's about where it's going to end because like I just like this is just the dumbest stuff.
Mm,
What about you, man? Are you going to be like, yeah, I need to check this out.
no, sir. Okay. And then so this week, a couple of days ago, the August solicitations dropped for DC. And like I said, we got about four new ones. The first one is called Immortal Legend Batman. That's by Kyle Higgins and Matt Groom. And I'll read you the little blurb here. Humanity broke the barrier between our universe and our universe's shadow. From the void came horrific apparitions that craved nothing but destruction. But from this terror, a legend was born. A warrior who found a way to access the energy that binds our universe and the shadow universe, transforming him into a cosmic dark knight. That immortal legend was named Batman. He fought to keep us safe and then one day abandoned the war, though he didn't disappear entirely. Now they say he hunts a rogues gallery of monsters born from the shadows. Kyle Higgins and Matt Groom kickstart a new sci-fi Batman epic.
I mean, it was starting to sound like Avatar: The Last Airbender for a second, but it's like when the world needed him most, he vanished.
Yeah,
But no, I mean, it's like, yeah, if it's a slow week, I'll probably pick it up. What about, but otherwise, because I like Higgins well enough, but
I like I like Higgins, and before it just like took too long to come out, I was digging Aaron's Batman Off-World. I think Batman is fun in a sci-fi setting where he isn't that strong, you know what I mean? And I know
yeah,
that this is like not canon Batman or whatever. Um, but I think it sounds cool. Dan Mora, they showed like his cover. The design's awesome. So I will probably check it out.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're getting a new Superman Black Label book from the creative team of Image's Ice Cream Man. Have you heard about that book?
I've heard of the book, but I don't know shit about it.
Okay. It's like an award-winning like horror book. Um, so I've not read it, but it's called Superman, the Kryptonite Spectrum. I have a feeling you're gonna hate the idea of this. The team behind the critically acclaimed Ice Cream Man comic comes to DC. Let's see here. Four new kryptonites have been discovered in deep space, and Superman needs to know just what exactly they do to him, lest the colorful rocks of his home planet fall into evil hands. With Batman at Superman's side, this DC Black Label Superman event explores the consequences of each never before seen variety of kryptonite. So, there you go.
That doesn't sound bad. Like at first I thought it was gonna be like this one is actually makes Superman's love come out. And this one, like doing that type of bullshit Green Lantern
Yeah.
stuff, but with it just because I
I don't
mean
know.
he's
I
a
feel like it could go that route a little bit.
it might, but I mean he's had the different colored rocks for forever. It's not like when Jeff Johns going, "Oh, willpower is emotion, right?" It's like, no, that's not an emotion.
Yeah. I don't know. Unless someone says, "Hey, this is really good," I'm not that interested in
Yeah,
that.
no, I mean it's gonna be a slow week again. That's another
Yeah.
one.
Now for one I will definitely be checking out. It's called Justice League Red #1. It's written by Saladin Ahmed, and the art is by Clayton Henry. The Justice League has a new Spec Ops team so covert the founders can't know that it exists, and its leader is the only hero who could keep them off the radar, because he is the radar. Red Tornado is the heart and mind of the Watchtower, watching, projecting into the future, and his projections point to apocalypse as a direct result of the concentrated power of the JLU. When your Justice League ID card lights up red, Red Tornado needs you. Um, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Saladin Ahmed. So I think
Yeah,
it sounds cool.
it does. It makes me think of Justice League Elite
Yeah,
because that's kind of what they were with the X-Force of the Justice League.
it looks like the team is Red Tornado, Deadman, Cyborg, Power Girl, Simon Baz, and I think they call her Red Canary from Green Arrow. She's
Oh
like
yeah,
the newest one.
the one that was introduced in like one of the really dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's like it's one of those weird teams where Saladin Ahmed's probably going to make me end up liking everybody. Like I
yeah.
have no doubt this will be the best that Simon has written. You know what I mean?
It's like, well, I mean, I think Simon could be a cool character, but he is like the Forgotten Lantern, like him and
Yeah.
Jessica. Like, because
Yep.
they both popped up like for brief snippets in that Green Lantern Corps book that we'll talk about. But it's just like there's barely shit with them. So I mean, well, maybe he'll actually finally write them and make us go like, oh yeah, he's got more than five things to do. That's
Yep.
cool.
Agreed. So anyway, I think that sounds pretty cool. And then the last one is called Cheetah and Cheshire Rob the Justice League. It's by Greg Rucka with art by Nicholas Scott. A daring heist aboard the most secure facility in the DCU. Cheetah and Cheshire assemble a team of misfits and oddballs to pull off the impossible, robbing the Justice League Watchtower and getting away with it. All that stands between them and pulling off the most daring heist in history are a few tiny complications, such as the most sophisticated orbital platform ever constructed, its AI-driven security system, oh, and one other thing, the smartest and most powerful heroes in the DCU. I think it sounds like fun, so we'll see.
I'm, I'm just not a Rucka guy.
I'm not a Rucka guy. He's written some good Wonder Woman that I've enjoyed. And not like the rebirth stuff like his older stuff. So
Yeah,
we'll see. Again, it's just one of those things where it's like, oh, two weird characters teaming up to do this wacky thing could be a good
yeah.
time. So that's it, Bob.
Let us know down below. Are any of those ones you're excited about? Maybe you're like, I want this thing Ryan North book really bad because I love it when one character fights the whole universe at once.
Yeah. Oh man. What'd you read this week?
So I read, picked up Godzilla versus America, Godzilla versus LA, LI, one shot. Godzilla, Here There Be Aliens, issue one. Red Hulk number four. Hellverine issue six. X Factor 10. Green Lantern Corps issue four. Which, with this cover, how did this not just be the hottest selling book? It's got Kid Lantern, everyone's favorite, right on the cover. Batman and Robin, issue 21. Batman Patterns, issue 6. Wolverine, issue 9. Daredevil 21. And Godzilla versus the X-Men, one shot. So, what
Very
about
good.
you, buddy?
I've got Batman and Robin, Batman Dark Patterns, Wolverine, Daredevil, DC versus Vampires, Uncanny X-Men, Doctor Strange of Asgard, and Aquaman.
Right. Oh, dude, I forgot Aquaman. Oh, well. Well, I'll start with Godzilla versus Ally. And so we get four stories. We get Eye in the Sky by Gabriel Hardman. They did both the writing and the illustrations. And then we get The Big Break by Jordan Morris and Nicole Gauss. And then How to Use the Los Angeles Metro to Survive a Godzilla Attack by Dave Baker and Godzilla LI by Jay Gonzo and Scott Hanna. So the first story is actually pretty neat. These people that are doing traffic news end up like, this is gonna be our big, like Godzilla's attacking. They're like, everyone's telling them to leave, but they're like, no, no, we need to get better video because this will be a big thing. They crash on Godzilla, and so then the guy just starts live streaming, thinking he's gonna die. And yeah, it was actually like a neat story. Now the rest of this is flaming hot garbage. Like there's one, no joke. It's how to survive this Godzilla attack in the LA, on LA stuff. It's like, believe it or not, I won't have to do that ever. And so, but he's literally showing like the train stations to get off and all that shit. It's like, yeah, this might have been a fun idea to talk about with your friends when you're drunk. It makes for shitty reading. And then the next story, it was just another, just like, it's not good art and it's not good story. It's just another one of those ones where I'm like, boy, I paid $8 for this, and I think $2 would have been too much. So yeah, I told Jake off of here like that. Don't get any more of these for the shop. They're just dog shit. I'm probably gonna go 3 out of 10. It's better than the Chicago one. The Chicago one was like some of the worst shit I've ever read. This one at
This
least
doesn't
had one
sound
good
much
story.
better.
I guess this one has a good story. The Chicago one was like, no, no, we're not gonna even try to have a good story.
All right. I'll do Aquaman real quick. It is by Jeremy Adams and something Timms. What is his name? Could I have been looking it up? Yeah. But I can't find it, so whatever. Anyway, it was a pretty good story. Um, they're just going around Dagon's little underwater planet. They find this other guy who claims he has a ship that can help them navigate the blue. Aquaman fights a big old king shark looking guy, but he's a hammerhead shark. And yeah, then I won't spoil the end, but it was pretty cool. And we got a character we haven't seen yet pop up at the end, and I'm excited to see where that goes. So yeah, like all the other ones, I'm liking this Aquaman story quite a lot. It's fun, good to have him back. Probably an 8 out of 10.
Nice. All right, so Godzilla, Here There Be Aliens by Frank Tieri and Angel Hernandez. You didn't pick this one up? I really thought you were into the last one pretty heavily.
Nope, I sure didn't.
So this guy's like he basically is
Did you
trying to
say
go.
Angel Hernandez?
That's what I think, yeah. Angel Hernandez.
Okay, do you know the famous, or should I say infamous, Angel Hernandez, the MLB umpire that everybody hates?
No.
Okay. It would just be
I-
really funny if it were him.
yeah, I gotcha.
He's like
So
super famous for making the worst calls you've ever seen. But anyway, go
nice.
ahead.
So this dude's like talking to the like Pentagon or some shit. He's like, yeah, so Godzilla's a real thing, and there used to be cults that would worship him. And they're like, you fucking idiot, get out of here. And then he goes home talking to his wife, and she's like, well, maybe you should just get a real job instead of talking about Godzilla all the time. And then I'm just like, dude, I feel your pain, bud. But then they like find out that oh yeah, Godzilla's real. He's doing some shit he shouldn't, and everyone's shooting at him. And he's like, ah, I knew I was right. And the government calls them. They're like, hey, get in our car. And then it's like, wait, this isn't the right car. And then they explain like, oh yeah, the aliens are attacking. They would have been here sooner, but the Zillions got in a fight with the monkey people from Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla and all that, and it was fun. And then we get a bunch of the aliens are like, ah, we'll unleash our weapon, which they just have like Hedorah is sitting, which it doesn't make any sense really because he was a monster on Earth way back in the day. And now they're like, oh, we have a bunch of Hedorahs that were worshipped as gods, but not anymore. But whatever. It's okay. It's like an actual story and like the last Godzilla book I had talked about. So I'm gonna go 6 out of 10. I think it's gonna get better and then probably get worse, but we'll find out.
You'll find out.
Yeah,
Okay, Doctor Strange of Asgard. It's by Derek Landy and Carlos Magno. It's still good. Um, Strange and a couple of his friends have to go get a skull from a dark troll, and a lot of shenanigans arise from that. And then at the end, Sif and Thor show up, and they're like, "Hey, we have questions about the person that died in the first issue that no one's brought up yet." So, um, yeah, I mean, not a lot happened, but it's still a good book, and I think Strange is written well. So, I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
nice. So yeah, next up is Red Hulk issue 4 by Benjamin Percy and Jeff Shaw. Like Ross is trying to get some power back, and Doctor Doom's like, you can't get your power back. I don't want you to. And they fight some Doom bots, and then it ends with them fucking nuke like dropping a big old bomb on top of Ross, and he gets his Hulk powers back. So it was pretty neat. It was fun. I like this book actually a lot. I'm kind of surprised how much I like it. I'd probably add an 8 for it. It was pretty solid.
Now, how does it compare to Jeff Loeb's Red Hulk?
Dude, it doesn't compare at all because Jeff Loeb's was so much better.
Yeah.
It was just we wouldn't have this old man running around struggling. It would just
Hmm.
be like him going, I sucking the energy out of these robots. Now I'm super powerful. Come
And I
here,
can wield
Doom.
Mjolnir.
Yeah. Well, hey, dude, it's because of the gravity, okay? He was using that.
Totally.
Well,
Okay.
like the most outrageous thing though was like they Green Hulk and Red Hulk made like got teams to fight. So it was like Red Hulk had Tiger Shark, Mordu, and Terrax. And then
Pretty stacked
um
team.
Yeah, and then so Hulk had Doctor Strange, Silver Surfer, and Namor.
An even more stacked team.
Fucking Red Hulk wrecked them. He fucking was able to suck all the energy out of the cosmic energy out of Silver Surfer, have the power cosmic, and and set all this shit. I'm like, this is. And then he beats, and then like because of the collect, it was like because of the collector and the collector, the other one that's like the like that's the collector's cousin. You know what I'm talking about?
I do, I just can't place the name.
Yeah. And then like since they're like deity god type characters, like Red Hulk's like, hey, I'm mad that you guys s- put all the people back where they were and you got rid of me killing them. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. And he just pounds the shit out of that character. Like they're like up to a bloody pulp. And like the collector, the other one was like, I can't believe my brother, cousin, whatever he was to me is dead. It's like this is impressively stupid.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad this one's not like that.
Yeah.
All right. We've got DC versus Vampires World War V #9 by Matthew Rosenberg and Otto Schmidt. It's good stuff. We got, the new gods and the survivors on Dinosaur Island, having the dinosaurs help them fight against the parademons. I may have made this comparison before, but it's like when we're walking through Artist Alley at C2E2 and it's, hey, it's monkeys versus dinosaurs. Please read my book. It's
Yeah.
like that, except it's actually good. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's fucking stupid that dinosaurs are fighting parademons, but it's fun because
Yeah.
Rosenberg's a good writer. Um, but yeah, then we find out that Gasp, Mr. Miracle, and his miracle baby are not dead. And this team like takes an underwater ship down to Atlantis to find him. And then because he's Mr. Miracle, he steals that ship without them knowing and leaves, leaving them all stranded there in
Well,
Atlantis with a
damn.
pissed off Mara. So I'm curious what happens there. But it's very fun. And then the backup is the final part of the Wildcat story by Shane McCarthy and Fabio Barris. And, you know, I'll spoil it. Wildcat has to kill his vampire son, and then you think he's gonna bleed out and die, but then he hears a scream and he looks over and like some lady and her kid are about to be attacked by two vampires. And he's like, yeah, maybe I will die soon, maybe tomorrow, but not today. And he just gets up and picks up this bat with barbed wire wrapped around it and walks off towards the screaming. And I'm like, fuck yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, so it was good. I just love this book. So I'm gonna give it probably like a 9.5. It's just good stuff.
Pick of the week.
I don't know. The rest of the stuff we got's all pretty fucking good
Yeah.
too.
All right. So Helverine, issue 6 by Benjamin Percy and Raphael Ianco on the art. Yeah, so you kind of get to see like the organization that Helverine's working for. They give him a nice little bike. He has this little weirdo that helps him out. He's like a little part demon. And we see some of the Hell Hulk, which is the just the silliest thing. And I think they're gonna try to get it. Yeah, they're gonna get his head next time. So, they're like, we can't put him, we shouldn't put him back together. But then they're like, we're gonna put him back together. But his head is just at the bottom of the ocean. He's angry.
Cool design.
Yeah, it's fucking silly as all hell too. So yeah, I'm at like probably 7.5 for it. The book is just a fun time.
Cool. How many Miyachis do we have? Five?
Oh, I still got some other stuff left. Did you read Green Lantern?
The core one? No, I
Yeah.
did not.
Oh, okay. So we got Batman and Robin, Batman Dark Patterns, Wolverine, and Daredevil.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Then I've got Uncanny as well.
All right. So I got three left. So I'll talk about Godzilla vs. X-Men. This is a ton of fun. You get some fun splash pages. They get so I'm like, this, how the hell are they gonna actually like make this interesting, them fighting, Godzilla, but they also go 90s style with them instead of, like the current lineup.
Cool.
But they get the Super Adaptoid. That's his name, right? Super Adaptoid. And then they toss Pym particles and they hook their like heads up all to it so that Super Adaptoid has all their powers and fighting abilities and he fights with Godzilla for a bit until this fucking monstrosity pops up. And then they're like, "Oh, that's what Godzilla is wanting to destroy this thing." So then they do a team up and, win the
Of
day.
course. Look at it.
Yeah, it's like this thing's like the X-Men are like, I know we're kind of freaks, but holy shit, kill that thing. So I
Mm.
mean, it's a fun time. Yeah, it was like it's more of the silly stuff that you want from this type of book versus like I said, the Fantastic Four one was kind of a letdown. This one and most of them since haven't been. So yeah, I'll probably give it like a 7.5, 8. Like it's just fun.
Right on. Okay. Uncanny X-Men 14 by Gail Simone and David Marquez. Um, the kids are down in the tomb dealing with Man-Thing, and Gambit and Rogue are dealing with the big old dragon. And then we get more of the background of that lady back in uh, I don't even know what the year is, but we'll just say when segregation was happening. And what a huge surprise. But that lady is who is down in the tomb being guarded by Man-Thing, I know. Um, so yeah, we'll see what happens with it next. Art is still just out of this world, and I still like the characters, so I'm still on board for now. I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Right on. So X Factor, issue 10 by Mark Russell, Bob Quinn, the final issue. Um, yeah, so they like Granny does some funny stuff. They are betrayed by the government and all that type of stuff, and so they're trying to take this stuff down. Polaris finds some stuff out that she's not happy about, and yeah, I mean it's fun. I'll say that. It's not as like this series has been kind of a letdown for me just in general because it just wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. But
Also,
this
they
is
threw an event right in the middle of it.
yeah, that too. But the event one wasn't that bad because it was just kind of like, hey, we need you to get this thing, and then they're like, hey, Doom 1, okay. It wasn't like how sometimes it's like, what the fuck is going on? Oh, but the other event did suck because I was like, I'm not reading
Mm-hmm.
15 other books. So they
Yeah,
had two
so
events.
two events in the
Yeah.
middle. Even worse.
Yep. Um, so yeah, like it's fine. The Granny character is my favorite X-Men character probably right now because it's so funny. But other than that, whatever. I'll probably give it a 7 out of 10. Just a big old C. That's probably what I'm going to give the series as a whole. It's just like it's a little bit of a letdown, but at the same time, still passing.
Sure.
And then Green Lantern Corps. I think I like to think that you're like, oh yeah, Green Lantern Corps come out this week. And you're like, ooh, Kid Lantern, no thank you, and you put it back.
Yeah, well, like I didn't read the last one either for some
Oh, okay.
reason, and then I realized I didn't really care. So I'm just gonna keep reading regular Green Lantern
Yeah,
only.
fair enough. So this is by Morgan Hampton and Jeremy Adams with V. Ken Marion and Amike Nalupan on the art. And so the like the first artist, the one that's not Nalupan, I'm not a fan of. Like I'll show you can kind of see like it doesn't make like this annoys me too because like there's this weenie character who's just afraid of everything and guys having to train him. And it's like, okay, if the way you get the ring is they're like, oh yeah, you can overcome great fear. And this little weenie's like, oh, I'm afraid of everything. Like you're not overcoming shit, bud. How did you get this ring?
Yeah.
And another like kind of dumb thing is Simon's like working on his green construct car, and he's like, hey, don't touch my car. I've made every single piece of it the exact same as, and I put it all together by hand. I'm like, what are you talking about? That's not how the Green Lantern constructs work.
That sounds stupid as hell. It's just
Yeah.
there forever.
I mean, it shouldn't, but that's how it works. That's how it, like, this is now working here. But it can travel in space. And like, they very much were like, I liked what James Gunn did in the, Guardians of the Galaxy with Nowhere. Cause I just say that because, like, prior to that, Nowhere was more like a horror element. Like if you remember that in, no in Nova, it was like just zombies on the things. It wasn't a fun, cool place.
Yeah.
This is like a giant, a giant dead starro that they've turned into a thing where it's like, yeah, it's clear as day you're copying Guardians of the Galaxy Nowhere for this. And so yeah, they do, they go there to get some stuff, and then Guy's doing his thing with the little weirdo. And yeah, it's whatever. It's not very good, but it's also not terrible. I'm probably at like I'm gonna go with a 6 because even though she's on the cover, she's not unbearable in this issue, unlike everything else we've read with her in it. Okay. What order do you want to do these last four ones in?
You tell me, buddy.
So I got it as Batman and Robin. I'll do Batman, Robin, Wolverine, Batman Dark Patterns, and Daredevil.
Okay. So Batman and Robin 21. It is by Philip Kennedy Johnson with Javi Fernandez and Carmine Di Giandomenico on the art. Just as good as any other issue. Not as much Damien in it, which is a shame, but that's for obvious reasons. But it was nice to see Batman's old French partner tell him what a piece of shit he is.
Right?
But what'd you think of it, dude?
For the most part, I really liked it. One thing I just does annoy me is like there's these kids in it. They steal a guy's wallet, and then Batman's like, "Hey, my Robin's gone. I need your help to help me find him." Like, what about the wallet that they stole?
What
And
if he just broke all their legs first?
yeah, he's like, "Well, you need to pay a penance for that wallet. Give me your hand." He just breaks all of their fingers. But I do love how the lady like gives him what for having a child be his backup, and he's like, "I need more kids."
I know, dude. I know.
Other than that, I did love this issue. It's really, really good.
hmm Art's pretty cool, especially that final panel with what's his name? Bly? Is that his name?
I think so, yeah. The the only part, like I love the art in this except for that part with those kids. Like, look at this, like this kid, he might be 38 years old.
Yeah,
Like, he makes me
yeah.
think of, do you remember in One Punch Man? It was like the backup where like the kid with the I think he had like what, weird lips or whatever. That's what it
Yes.
makes me think of.
Yeah, that's so funny. I love that.
So like that,
Um,
yeah. But where you at with it?
Probably like 8.5 or 9,
Yeah,
maybe.
see, I'm probably at a 9. I like I said, my little gripes are a little, little whatever, but for the most part, I really, really liked it.
Yeah.
Okay, Wolverine by Salah Ahmed and Javier Inez art. Yeah, I liked it. I did think it was a little over the top with the guy in the bar being like, you listen to our conversation of me just spewing hate, my friend going, you're kind of just an ignorant moron. Are you listening to this while we yell it? It's like, I mean, I don't go to bars often, but I don't think that happens too much.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I really liked, that conversation where the guy's like, old school, you're 28 and you
Right?
grew up here just like me. You're just an idiot. It's like, boy, this could be in our hometown
Right?
or just about anywhere. Also, the guest artist is really fucking good.
Yeah. And I love the way Wolverine's written. Like Saladin does a great job as always. And like the only like I the Department H thing doesn't make any like a lick of sense to me though. Like I said, I like the way Wolverine's written, but they're like, we showed up, we fought, we lost, and the girl's like, these were my men. I don't want to fight you. Hi. I'm like, could have just opened with that instead of getting your men's asses kicked.
Yeah. Maybe she just wanted to teach them a lesson.
Yeah. It's like be nice to them dirty muters, okay?
I also think it's funny how Saladin gives some just, I don't know, villains that I've never heard of, and that's happened a few times just for Wolverine to beat the shit out of.
So I might be wrong, but I think I've heard of the girl, but the dude I have no like I think I've heard of Vertigo.
You
But
have.
Harpoon
You have, because of DC Comics Count Vertigo. She even
well
looks like him.
I see I think I've seen her in Marvel, but Harpoon, no fucking clue.
Yeah.
But we both know he's a character me and Nick would have loved if we saw the cards of him though.
Fuck yeah, you would have.
Like this oh
Showing a little shoulder, big
yeah,
muscles,
big
your
muscle.
guy.
I mean like if only he had an earring and some long hair. But it's like, oh, he's got a fucking harpoon. Who's this villain? The whale?
Oh shit. Yeah, if we get teased with the cool villain that I'm excited to see how Saladin writes.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's just good, man. I just
Hmm.
really fucking like this book.
Yeah, I'm probably at an 8.5 for it. I liked it a good bit. I thought it was good.
Yep, same here. 8.5 sounds good. All
Okay.
right.
Batman Dark Patterns by Dan Waters, and I'm trying to find the artist really quick. Hayden Sherman on the art. This is good. I think, you'd be hard to find a better ventriloquist story in
hmm
Batman. Um,
it makes Wesker fucking creepy, you
yeah.
know? Hiding
Yep.
under the couch to strangle that guy, having his tongue cut out. I mean, even at the end, there's still a mystery of, is this just a ventriloquist or is there some other shit going on here?
Yeah.
So,
It's really cool. My one problem with it though is like it does feel rushed, you
yeah,
know?
it does. It
So
wraps up very quickly. I think, I also think Sherman's art is just perfect for this kind of story.
I agree.
I mean, this, doing the three issue arcs is just like that 90s Legends of the Dark Knight series where they did exactly this.
Yeah.
Um, so I think it's pretty cool. I would like it to have seen it stretched out, maybe another issue. Um, but whatever. It was still a very good time.
Yeah.
Probably had an 8 for it.
I'm thinking a 9. I really enjoyed it. Just the ending. It would have been my pick of the week. Probably Batman and Robin is my pick of the week. This it would have been my pick of the week had it just done more with
Mhm.
with its ending.
Yeah, for real. Which leaves us with Daredevil 21 by Saladin Ahmed with art by Jose Luis Suarez, Carlos Nieto, Orin Jr. Oh, those are inkers. Okay. So yeah, those guys. Um, again, not the regular artist. I think it's really good though.
Yeah,
Um,
the art's great.
I think the colors match really well. I like the first artist more than the second artist, the guy we get there at the very end.
Hmm.
There's something about the way the first artist draws like the fungus shit that just makes it way more disgusting
Yeah.
in a good way. Um, so I'm pretty curious. I'm curious how just what this person's deal is and how Daredevil's gonna, fight it. The whole, I haven't read a lot of older Daredevil, but he's like, I'm gonna do this thing Stick taught me to, find out where this fucking fungus is coming from. I was like, that seems like a very OP thing he can do.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's legit or not. Maybe it is, but yeah, either way, still pretty cool. Interested in the new villain. Had a very good time with it.
Yeah. Like I had two minor gripes. Like one, it's like him still being like, I killed Bullseye. It's like, no, you didn't. Your best friend and Bullseye were dropped at the same time. And even if it wasn't your best friend, you chose the non-murderer versus the other one, and you still tried to save him. It doesn't work. Like that whole thing just doesn't work. Trying to say he's a murderer for not being able to save somebody.
Yeah.
And then this also really annoys me when he's looking for the person, and they're talking through the walls, and they're like, you're a disgrace. You should be out there stopping criminals, not harassing disruptors like me. That costume's based, though. You're gonna look amazing. It's like, fuck, I hate when they're like that. That's based.
Yep.
It's like Salad Ahmed, stop trying to sound young and hip. You probably already are, but still, stop it.
Yeah, like that's some Mark Wade shit.
Yeah.
Um, Probably still at like a 9 for it though,
I was
personally.
yeah, I was feeling about an 8.5 for it, so we're
Cool.
pretty close on it.
Yeah.
What are you excited about, man?
Excited for my cat to get the hell out of the way.
Hmm.
Come here. Anyway, um, probably DC Sonic and Moon Knight. I feel like it's been a little while since Moon Knight came out, and then I gotta say New Gods.
Right on. I'll say Zatanna, The Thing,
Could have seen
and
that coming.
yeah, right. You could see my thing coming any day you want, buddy.
Wow.
And then Batman and Robin Year One. Okay, so Fantastic Four time. Give me four of the worst post-credit scenes in the MCU, in your opinion.
I'll try to think of specific examples, but just the ones that don't fucking lead to anything.
Hmm.
Um, like okay, Eternals, with Pip and Star Fox.
Yeah,
It's like okay. One of the Spider-Man movies that introduces like Scorpion or something like that goes nowhere. Um, is Morbius, which I didn't watch Morbius, but was that the one with fucking Vulture at the end?
maybe. I think Vulture just popped up in the movie.
Oh, okay.
I think there's a part where he's in prison or something. We gotta
I
watch that for the Sony one if we ever actually get to doing
Jesus
that.
Christ, I know we fucking need to. Um, Gosh, yeah, I'm trying, I don't know. I mean, go ahead and give a couple.
So like one that always comes to mind, speaking of things that didn't go anywhere, the Incredible Hulks, because like it ends with like Tony Stark walking in being like, we're basically like, oh yeah, we're gonna stop the Hulk, we're gonna put together a team, and it's like that's never mentioned again. They even cast a different Hulk.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, and then trying to think of some of the other silly ones that happened where there's like, yeah, we're just gonna ignore this. Oh, I haven't seen this Thor movie, but the Thor Love and Thunder where they're like, hey, here's Hercules. Everyone's like, oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
is he ever gonna show up again? Probably not. Which, I like that actor, but not enough beef, so whatever. Um,
Which, by the way, I saw a thing where Chris was like, oh yeah, we got too silly with that. I'm not happy with how we did that last one. The next one needs to be a little more serious. I'm like, okay, maybe the next one has a chance of being enjoyable then.
I saw like a fun little fan theory. It's like the reason why that movie it's so bad is because Taika Waititi was mad at the Russos for just basically ignoring everything that he did in Ragnarok, where it's like Thor doesn't need the hammer anymore and all that stuff. And then the Russos were like, no, no, the hammer's cool. We need the hammer and an axe, all that type of stuff. So it's like, I'm like, well, at least then you could say you did it on purpose instead of just making a really shitty movie on accident.
I mean, that doesn't make it any better for me.
Fair enough. And then what was another really dumb one early on that they just kind of like, ignored because like when the movie came out, because I'm trying to think like, oh, like the end of Captain America, First Avenger. It's just like Loki's like, well, like Loki's in the mirror and like he's possessed. What's his dick? And he's like, well, isn't this interesting? And then like that had nothing to do with the next movies that came out. They're like, oh, we didn't even watch this. Um, and then I'll go with the Spider-Man movie, the No Way Home, and then or whichever one it is, where like it's just Chris Evans going, sometimes you wait for things and it's not worth it, basically.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah. I was trying to look up a list to see if I could
Yeah.
find one more specific one. Man, next week we should do good ones though,
Yeah. Oh, and
because
then
there are some good ones.
oh yeah, hell yeah, dude. The especially early on.
Yeah.
Like I think it was what Iron Man 2 has the hammer.
Yeah, the hammer. Um, I remember being super hyped with Wanda and Pietro in the cell, and
Yeah.
Wanda just being creepy and Pietro's running around. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to think of there was like another one that I just had where it was pretty stupid though. I forget, but it doesn't matter because, whatever. But let us know down below some of the ones that you're like, yeah, this was pretty gosh darn stupid post-credit scene.
Yeah, we would love to hear it. But that is the end of the episode, folks. So comment down below everything Casey told you to comment. We'll be back at you next week. And, we'd love to stay in chat, but the WNBA has to look into me. So we'll see where that leads. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Two Worlds Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Two Worlds Pod, on Twitter at two_worlds_PC, and on Facebook at facebook.com/twoworldspodcast. You can email us with any questions or comments at twoworldspodcast@gmail.com, and if you would, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Two Worlds Podcast on YouTube.